Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial of offline migration to OVN-Kubernetes using Ansible. I am Sanjay Tripathi, working as a support engineer here at Red Hat with OpenShift networking team. Okay, let's go ahead and see on which platform this offline migration with Ansible is supported. It is supported on bare metal, AWS, GCP, IBM Cloud, Azure, and VMware vSphere as well. Okay, before starting the migration, one should check all the consideration before performing the migration onto the cluster. So it is not supported when OpenShift SDN is in multi-tenant mode, but one can still migrate the cluster. It's just that this mode is no longer available on the OVN-Kubernetes, and isolation will be handled with the network policies. There are some CIDR used by OVN-K internally like 100.64, 169.254 and 100.88. Like make sure these CIDR are not used by OCP nodes or that cluster CIDR or the service networks do not overlap with this. Egress router must be removed from the cluster if it is deployed. Remove the NNCP object if it is applied on the node primary interface. MCP should not be in paused state. Since this is an offline migration, there will be some downtime. There are many other considerations as well which can be looked into onto the OCP documentation as well. Why we are doing this? Currently we have documentation with various steps that customer needs to follow to migrate from SDN to OVN Kubernetes. Given that these steps should be executed serially, it makes sense to automate them as a part of Ansible Playbook. Automating the SDN to OVN migration through Ansible helps ensure a smooth and consistent process while reducing the risk of human errors as well. Now there are some prerequisites that needs to be in place for the migration through Ansible. So first one is the Python latest version needs to be installed, like the 3.10 version is recommended. Python package manager, the pip needs to be installed. JMES path and the JQ binary needs to be installed. Traffic on the port 6081 should be allowed between all the OCP nodes. Since we are using Ansible, like the Ansible Galaxy will be used, Ansible core package is also required. Minimum version of 2.15 is needed here. And the kube config with admin privileges should be exported on the Bastion host where the playbook will run actually. Access to the Red Hat hybrid cloud console is also needed to fetch the token for the Ansible. This is how the Ansible CFG file or the configuration file looks like since we are pulling the data or the package bundle from the Ansible with the help of Ansible Galaxy. Hence we required access to the hybrid console as well just to fetch the token. Okay, so in between, like we can do some troubleshooting as well. The Ansible playbook consists of different tasks and roles that handles the complete migration process. These triggers the CNO with the target CNI and apply the needed configuration for the migration. If the Ansible playbook fails or gets stuck, check the status cluster health manually, especially the network operator, and check the MCD logs as well if the MCP is stuck somewhere. Okay, let's go ahead and see the demo now. So this is my Bastion host from where I operate the cluster. It is RHEL 9.4. and I'm just installing the necessary packages like the Python, JQ, pip onto the Bastion host only. After this, I'm just checking the Python version and the JQ version. It's 1.6 and Python is 3.11 in my case. I'm done. I'm just installing the Ansible core package as well since it is required. And after this, I'm just checking the Ansible CFG. So here in the Ansible configuration file, we need to replace the actual token. The actual token will get from the Red Hat hybrid cloud console page only. Once you log into this page, you'll get the options load token here. Once you click on the load token button, like it will give you the token. You need to copy that token and just paste it here into the Ansible CFG file so that it can authenticate with the Ansible Galaxy. So after this, I'm just running the Ansible Galaxy command just to get the SDN to OVN migration playbook bundle as well. Once I've run this, I'm just checking whether the bundle is available or not. It is available here. Once this is done, I move to the default directory where the bundle is actually stored. The ls here, so I get all the playbooks which are necessary for the Ansible. Playbook migration is the main playbook here which we need to run. These are like pre-checks, migration playbook, reboot playbook, and the post migration playbook. All the tasks, all the different playbooks are there, which will be called by this main playbook, which is playbook-migration.yaml only. Migration playbook contains all the important checks and the variables that we can edit. So it will be running on localhost obviously, and this is the role which we are using. It check for the conflicting CIDR ranges, since OVN is using many internal CIDR ranges, and we should not use that internally. After this, it is just checking for the cluster operator and the MCP status, whether it is healthy. Should not be updating or any other state. There is one important variable here, disable auto migration. Once it is set to false, it will migrate the resource like egress network policies and egress IPs. If it is like set to true, it won't migrate the resources. Also, if this is set to true, the values must be set and uncommented, the below values, migration, egress IP and egress firewall thing. The MTU also you can change, and the IPv4 subnet can also be changed here. Genie port can also be changed here. If there is any NNCP applied on any interface, just pass the interface name here. Okay, there are also many roles defined here in the complete process. These roles should not be changed or should not be touched. Okay, and once this is done, like I'm just exporting the kubeconfig file into the variables as well. It is needed, and the cluster admin privileges is also needed. So I am system admin here. You can see it has the cluster admin privileges. I'm just checking the cluster version here. It's 4.16.42, and just checking the node status as well. All nodes are in ready state. I'm just checking the cluster operators as well. All are true and nothing is degraded or in progressing state at the moment. MCP should not be in paused state, so it is paused false. That means it's not in paused state. And I'm just checking the network.config YAML, so it is OpenShift SDN at the moment, and no CIDR is overlapping with the OVN internal subnet. I'm just running the Ansible-playbook command now with the -v option just to see the verbosity. So it is doing the pre-checks now. The playbook is doing the pre-checks. It is checking the OC client version if it is installed. The OC client version is 4.1643 in my case. It is checking for the kubeconfig as well. So it is set, and the path is also found by that playbook. It will fail obviously if that kubeconfig variable is not set. After this, it is also checking like the kubeconfig which is exported has the cluster admin privileges, which is there already, since I am using this system admin as well. You can use the kube admin user as well, since it has also the admin privileges. Okay, if it is not able to find like the admin privileges, it will simply fail the playbook here itself only. Now it is starting the playbook, which is offline migration SDN to OVN-K, and it is just checking for the cluster operators which are normal, and MCP is not in an updating state. Make sure the MCP should not be in paused state. Okay, and it is also checking for the conflicting CIDR ranges. It already find it out. 10.128, 172, 30 is not overlapping, so no conflicting CIDR ranges found here. It is checking for the network isolation mode as well, since the multi-tenant mode is not supported, so it is checking that only. And now it is patching the network.operator into the migration field is clear here, so it is setting as a null behind the scene. So NNCP is also checked here, so no NNCP is present on to my cluster. It will delete the NNCP if it is applied on the primary interface. So the playbook which we have seen previously, a migration playbook, there we can set that field. and deleting the NNCP will not cause any issue. It will just delete the NNCP. It will not revert the changes back to the OCP nodes. So migration field is set to OVN-Kubernetes now uh, into the network.operator here, and it is simply this will not apply the CNI immediately, but it will trigger the MCU to make changes onto the nodes. It is also checking like whether any customization is provided onto the network. It is also checking the version is not less than or equal to 4.12, because on that version we are not able to migrate the resources like egress IP and the egress policies, network policies. Now I'm just checking on the another term. I'm just checking on the other terminal. The MCP is in updating state right now, and I'm just checking the OCGet nodes status as well. Since we have passed the network.operator to the OVN-Kubernetes, it is just applying the new renders onto all the nodes. So it will take some times here depending on how much nodes you have into the cluster. So I'm on the other terminal. I'm just checking all the nodes status and whether it is in updating state, the MCP state. So once this is done, like, we are just waiting for the MCU to finish its work. So here MCU has finished the job, and it is simply checking the new renders onto the nodes. So it is also printing the message indicating that all the machine configuration are correct. After this, it is patching the network.config to set the OVN-Kubernetes as the CNI. Now the network operator is in progressing state, and all the multis pods are getting restart in the background. All the multis pod have restarted successfully here. I'm just checking the status onto the other terminal for the nodes, because like after this it will restart the nodes one by one. First the master nodes has been rebooted completely, then it will reboots the worker nodes as well. Once all the worker nodes are rebooted, it will just go with the post migration task again. So again, the post migration task is again a part of the playbook only. So I'm just checking the migration. I'm just checking the nodes status here. So it is still rebooting the worker nodes. So yeah, so all the worker nodes are rebooted here. It is just checking all the cluster operators whether they are in normal. On the other terminal, I am just checking all the operators are up basically. So nothing is degraded, nothing is updating. So all the checks are passed here. It is just checking for the CNI providers again. So now it should be OVN-Kubernetes. So it is just checking whether the OVN-Kubernetes is the expected CNI onto the cluster. Once this is done, yeah, it fetched the OVN-Kubernetes onto the network operator, and it is also checking if all the cluster nodes are in ready state. So all the pods, it will print if there is any pod which is in crash state or pending state, it will print the message here. But right now all are in ready state, which is good. If there is any pod, it will just print the message here that this pod is in error state. Now it is patching the network operator again to the clear field, because previously it was set to migration to the OVN-Kubernetes. The migration is completed, that's why it cleared the field. It is also again checking the cluster operators back to normal. So all checks are passed here as well. Now it will try to display the cluster operator status as well. So if there is any issue, it will print. So here it goes like the migration, the playbook completes itself, and we are manually checking the cluster health now. So OCGet nodes, all the nodes are in ready state. OCGet CO, the cluster operators are in healthy state, and there is nothing degraded here. So OCGit MCP also, all the MCP is updated and there is nothing degraded here. I'm just checking the network -o YAML again just to check whether the OVN-Kubernetes is patched or not. It's patched, so right now it's working fine. So with the network.operator as well, I'm just checking whether the OVN-Kubernetes is present here or not. So OVN-Kubernetes config is there, Geneve port is there, and the type is OVN-Kubernetes as well. Now I'm just checking the pods which are the new pods, the OVN pods in OpenShift-OVN-Kubernetes namespace. All are running fine, and there is nothing present in the OpenShift SDN namespace. If this project exists after the playbook run, just delete the project as well. It is not needed at the moment. Thank you for joining us in this video.